What's happening, my friends? So last week was an insanely busy week in Pokemon Go, so let's talk about it. So to kick things off, the Delightful Days Taken Over event. So with Team Go Rocket appearing more frequently in balloons and Pokestops, we were able to get ourselves some of the best meta-relevant shadow Pokemon that we can use for the PvE side of Pokemon Go. So if we go ahead and take a look, during the event I managed to get a combined total of 229 shadow Pokemon by defeating Team Go Rocket grunts, leaders, and of course, Giovanni. Now as I said, this was the perfect opportunity to get some of the best meta-relevant shadow Pokemon, as shadow Pokemon deal an increased 20% damage compared to non-shadow Pokemon. Now of course, with this, shadow Pokemon also take an increase in 20% damage themselves. But when it comes to raids, it's all about doing as much damage as possible in the time we have, so the 20% increase in damage is extremely useful, especially with those that are in smaller communities like myself. Now aside from getting the newly released shadow Pokemon, we did go ahead and get something a little bit spicy. And without going overboard, on our third raid we managed to get ourselves a shiny shadow Kyogre with the IVs of 14, 13, 9. Now as I said, it's all about the attack IVs on shadow Pokemon, so this Kyogre will be used in raids going forward. And for those of you that are curious, after defeating Giovanni, these are the IVs on my shadow Giratina, and yeah, standard IVs for me. Another nice addition to these takeover events is that we are able to use a charge TM to remove frustration from our shadow Pokemon. So during this time I made sure to remove frustration from all of my meta relevant shadow Pokemon, and they are all prepped and ready to go for future battles. And if we go ahead and take a look at my hero medal, you can now see that I've defeated a combined total of 11,238 Team Go Rocket members. So that wraps up the Delightful Days Taken Over event recap, and now we move on to the 2025 Pokemon World Championships Celebration event, and this is where things go drastically downhill. So for me, this event had my full focus on the Pokemon Go debut of Pikachu wearing the varsity jacket. And not just the Pikachu wearing the varsity jacket, the shiny Pikachu wearing the varsity jacket was the target goal. So in my collection, I currently have the World's 2022 shiny Pikachu, the World's 2023 shiny Pikachu, and the World's 2024 shiny Pikachu. So that only means we have to keep the shiny streak going, right? Right? Well, my friends, after running around to so many gyms to take on 1-star raids, powering up so many Pokemon, and partaking in the Go Battle League, we managed to encounter a grand total of 94 costume Pikachus. Now I know it says 98 Pikachus, but 4 of these were from overtime raids once the event ended at 8 PM local time for me. And would you believe, from all of those encounters, we managed to get ourselves a grand total of 0 shinies. Yep. 0 shinies. Considering that one of the event bonuses during this time was that we had an increased chance of encountering a shiny Pikachu wearing the varsity jacket, I think I'm just gonna leave that right there and say no more. Let me know your thoughts on my shiny Pikachu attempt, and if you managed to get yourself the shiny Pikachu wearing the varsity jacket, be sure to let me know in the comments how many attempts it took you to get it and potentially break my heart. So with all that being said, my friends, it's now time to turn our attention to this weekend, where we have the Pokemon Go Fest 2025 Max Finale event. If you don't know any of the event details that either the Dark Skies, Max Finale, or any other event that takes place in Pokemon Go, be sure to head on over to my Instagram, where you can find literally all of the information you need to know about anything. And that right there wraps up this recap. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the Delightful Days Taken Over event and the 2025 Pokemon World Championships Celebration event in Pokemon Go, and as always, stay awesome, my friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh, and before I go, I'm calling it right now. My Eternatus will have the floor IVs. I'm calling it.